Unveiling Amadioha, Igbo, god of justice. Before the gods took names, before the trees whispered to men, before thunder had a voice, there was the sky, vast, silent, endless, and in that sky, waiting like judgment behind a storm cloud, was Amadioha. He is not merely a deity with arms and face. He is presence, he is consequence, he is the thunder that remembers, the lightning that corrects. Among the Igbo people, whose ancestors walked the red earth with reverence, who built lives with rhythm and ritual. Amadioha is the force that bends the crooked path back toward truth. Let us begin, not with thunder, but with silence. The silence before he speaks. The Igbo people do not speak of the gods casually. The world is full of spirits, the more, but few walk with as much weight, as much consequence as Amadioha. His name, when broken, reveals his essence. Amadioha, the free will of the people, or more deeply, the will of the people made divine. To call Amadioha is to speak not just to a god, but to the conscience of the sky, the part of the world that cannot be bribed, cannot be flattered, cannot be deceived. He is the guardian of moral order, an order not written on paper or sealed by kings, but whispered in the wind, encoded in thunder. In the language of storms, he speaks. Do not lie, do not steal, do not spill blood unjustly. And when men do, he replies, dash. In fire, it would be wrong to imagine Amadioha with a human face. He is not like Shango, with axe and dances. He is not like Ogun, forging blades in fire. Amadioha is the storm itself. He does not wield thunder. He is thunder. When lightning strikes a tree and it splits open like judgment, it is said to be his verdict. When the air crackles before rain, some say it is Amadioha testing the truth that hangs in the wind. In some villages, no image of him exists, because to define him is to limit him. He is not shaped in mud or bronze, he is shaped in justice. In Igbo tradition, the sky is the highest court. Before contracts were written, before laws were codified in colonial ink, men swore beneath the open sky. They would say, if I lie, let Amadioha strike me. It was not a metaphor, it was not superstition. It was a contract written in breath, signed by the gods, and when the liar walked home, the sky would watch. Sometimes a week would pass, sometimes a season, but the guilty would not sleep well, for the sky never forgets. Every god has a symbol, and for Amadioha, it is the white ram, a creature of strength, purity, and sacrifice. Not just any animal would do. Not any offering could please the god of thunder. To appease Amadioha, to ask his judgment, a white ram would be brought, clean, unblemished, proud. Its blood spilled at the crossroads, its spirit sent upward, in a pillar of smoke. The elders would say, let the ram speak where words fail. For when men are too clever with their mouths and too deceitful in their hearts, Amadioha understands only truth. And the white ram cannot lie. Among the Igbo calendar's 4 sacred days, Ik, Ori, Afo, Nkwo. Afo belongs to Amadioha. It is on Afo Day that offerings are made, truths are confessed, and disputes brought before elders. No work of deception is done, no important journey begun. On this day, those who feel guilt stay close to home. Those who seek justice walk with steady steps. It is said that if you speak a falsehood on a ford, the gods may not wait to correct you. Across southeastern Nigeria, especially in places like Ozuzu, Ombaitoli, and Eche, shrines to Amadioha still stand. Sometimes just a circle of stones, sometimes a staff stuck in red earth, sometimes a place only the initiated know. To the untrained eye, these shrines may look simple, but they are not empty. They hum with presence. In these places, the silence is thick. Birds do not chirp as loudly. The air hangs heavier. It is as if the sky has lowered itself to listen. People enter with bare feet. They speak slowly and they do not lie, because here, even the wind reports to Amadioha. When invaders came, first in the form of slavers, then missionaries, then colonial rulers, they tried to tame the spirits of the land. They tried to dismiss the gods as superstition. They tried to buy loyalty. bend traditions, rewrite stories to fit foreign tongues. But Amadioha could not be bribed. He could not be renamed, for even if his worship was driven underground, the sky remained. Thunder still spoke, and so quietly, in the heart of the land, he endured. Some say he waits, some say he listens, some say he never left. Today, in cities and towns, some speak of Amadioha only in whispers. They say, that was the old way. They build over sacred groves, they forget. But then, lightning strikes a church steeple, thunder shatters the night, a liar falls suddenly ill, a missing heir returns home after a dream, and elders look to the sky and nod, because Amadioha does not need temples, he does not need altars, he needs only the sky, and a heart that seeks justice. So when next you walk beneath the open sky, speak your truth, walk cleanly, and remember, the sky is listening, and Amadioha is never far. There are stories that live in the dust of village roads, stories that sit beneath the trees and wait, stories that older mouths do not tell until the moon is high, and the listener is brave. This is one such tale, a tale of truth and the punishment of lies. Once in the village of Umunioha, a place blessed with thick forests and proud lineages, there lived two brothers. Obina, the elder, was known for his calm strength, his generous hand, his ability to listen more than he spoke. Emeka, the younger, was clever, charming, fast with his tongue. He could talk the feathers off a bird, the shell of a tortoise. Their father, Nadi, the palm merchant, was a man of great standing, respected across many villages for his fairness and deep knowledge of customs. When Nadi passed into the realm of the ancestors, he left behind a will spoken in the presence of witnesses, a division of land, tools, and the sacred family staff, Ofo, which symbolized moral authority. To Obina, he gave the staff, to Emeka he gave gold, and to both he gave the land equally. Split it, like my ribs, he said, one for each side of my chest. But Emeka did not agree. Gold is heavy in the pocket, but heavier still is the hunger for more. As moons passed, Emeka began to whisper. He told neighbors Obina had tricked their father. He said the will was false, the witnesses bribed. He said Obina had used juju to win favor. At first, the village ignored him, but Emeka was persistent. He smiled in public, offered kola nuts freely, told stories that called around truth like vines. One evening during a market gathering on Uncle Day, Emeka stood and challenged his brother openly. Let us bring this before the elders. If you are honest, Obina, let Amadioha judge us. The crowd gasped. To invoke Amadioha was no small thing. It meant the matter would be judged not only by men, but by the sky. Obina agreed. His voice was steady. He said only, truth does not fear thunder. The trial was held on Afo Amadioha's sacred day. The village square was cleared. Drums were silenced. Children told to keep indoors. The elders, grey-bearded, soft-spoken, wise, sat with the OFO staff between them. Obina spoke first. He recited his father's last words. He named the witnesses. He said he had no need for gold, only peace. Then Emeka rose. His words were sweet, polished, like river stones. Brothers and sisters of Umuneoha, he said, my heart is heavy with betrayal. My brother has taken what is not his. He has hidden behind tradition. Let Amadioha strike the guilty, whomever he may be. The elders asked the final question. Do you swear by Amadioha that you speak the truth? Emeka raised his hands to the sky. I swear. A breeze passed. The sky remained quiet. For 3 days, all was quiet. The village carried on. Palm wine flowed. Chickens ran across courtyards. Children laughed. But the air had changed. It smelled of iron, of something waiting. On the 4th night, a storm began to build. Not a loud one, not at first. Just a low rolling murmur as though the sky was grumbling in its sleep. That night, Emeka sat alone. He sharpened a machete, though no farmer waited him. He muttered to himself, accusing ghosts, blaming shadows. And then, Without warning, a bolt of lightning ripped across the sky. The people awoke to a terrible cry. They ran to Amika's home, but there was nothing, no body, no flame, only a charred patch of earth, and beside it, his walking stick, split clean in two. The elders stood in silence. The oldest among them, Nze Madu, knelt and placed his hand on the scorched ground. Amadioha has spoken, he said. The sky does not miss. The liar has been called home, without mercy. From that day, no one spoke Emika's name in jest. Children were told to speak the truth or risk the fire of heaven. A small shrine was built on the edge of the forest. No idol stood there, only a single white stone. But every Afar, villagers still pass by and whisper thanks to Amadioha, not for the death, but for the justice. One evening, many years later, a child asked the old man, Baba, why did Amadioha strike him? Couldn't the elders have punished him? The elder smiled sadly. Because some lies twist deeper than man can reach, he said, and when a lie poisons the land, the sky must rain to cleanse it. There are many gods in the forest, many spirits in the wind, but Amadioha, he is not in the forest, he is not in the river, he is above zero, always above, watching, and when men forget their oaths, when truth is bent until it bleeds, he will remind them, not with words, but with thunder. The vengeance of the sky, justice does not always shout. Sometimes it waits. It walks behind us like a shadow. It sleeps in the silence of our lies. Among the Igbo people, there is a saying, O buru na madu eku ura, Amadioha ahuya nanya. If a man speaks a lie, Amadioha sees him with his eye. The eye of Amadioha is not like ours. It does not blink. It does not turn away. It remembers, even when we try to forget. In every village where Amadioha is remembered, his name is not spoken carelessly, not because he is cruel, but because he is final. His justice is like lightning, fast, unarguable, searing through deception. Children are told from a young age, do not swear by the sky unless your heart is clean. The gods may take time, but Amadioha does not sleep. And so, in matters of property, marriage, land, and blood, people turn their eyes upward before they speak, because to lie under the gaze of the sky is to gamble not with man, but with the storm. There is a tale told in the hills of a Bombais, of a man named Nwachinimir, who stole yams from a sacred grove during the dry season. He had been hungry, but he had also been warned. The grove was watched by Amadioha. It was land sworn to justice. When the theft was discovered, he denied it. I did no such thing, he said. Strike me down if I lie. And he looked at the sky when he said it. The village murmured. But days passed, and Nwachinimir remained unharmed. Yet something had changed. He no longer laughed in the sun. He walked with his head low. He built his hut with a slanted roof to shield the sky. At night, when others slept, he paced. He mumbled. He checked the clouds. One night, they say he ran out into the bush, screaming, fleeing something no one else could see. They found his body days later, under a broken tree, arms stretched to the sky. There was no fire, no lightning, just silence. Amadioha does not always strike quickly. Sometimes he waits. In some cases, years may pass, before the weight of a lie brings the sky down upon a man. But the people understand. The delay is not forgiveness, it is watching. There are men who grow old with guilt in their bellies. They grow fat, they prosper, but their eyes twitch at every clap of thunder. They build great roofs, thinking they can keep out the sky. But the wind goes where it wills, and when their hour comes, it is not always with fire, but with shame. When disputes arise and the truth cannot be found, a village may call upon Amadioha. The parties are brought before an oracle, Agbara Amadioha, and the spirit is invoked. The guilty are offered a chance to confess, to cleanse their name before the sky must act. Some do, they fall to their knees and weep. Some do not, they laugh, they lie, and days later, A hut catches fire. A traveler is struck by sudden illness. A tree falls in the night and finds only one man beneath it. These things are not accidents. In Igbo thought, the universe is not random, it is balanced. Always. Amadioha does not care for titles. He does not bend to chiefs or priests. He does not weigh a man's silver before his truth, rich or poor, young or old, man or woman. He sees the lie. And because of this, people think twice before they speak. Even in distant cities, among Igbo scattered in Lagos, Abuja, or London, you will hear an elder say, I swear by Amadioha, I am telling the truth. It is not mere speech, it is a contract with the heavens. Not all punishment is fire and death. Sometimes Amadioha strikes inward. The liar finds no rest. He hears thunder in his dreams. He feels watched, even in closed rooms. He cannot explain the tension in his bones, the cold behind his neck. Guilt is its own lightning, a storm that crackles under the skin. Some go mad, some confess to strangers in the markets, some beg to be taken to a shrine, so the silence will end. Yet Amadioha is not only punishment. He is not cruel. He does not strike for sport. He is a teacher, a man who confesses before the storm, who lays down his lie, offers what is due, and restores what he took. May be spared. There are stories of men who swore falsely, but returned a week later to admit their crime. They brought white rams. They built new roofs for the poor. They dug wells, restored land, made peace. And they lived, because Amadioha is not vengeance without end. He is balance. He is the storm that clears the air. Even now, when the world spins faster than ever, and men carry their lies in their pockets, on screens, in messages, in courts, Amadioha remains. His eye still watches, in every storm over Owerri, in every bolt over Aba, in the lightning that cuts across a night drive between Onitsha and Enugu. There he is, unseen, but present. And those who remember lower their heads and speak truth, even when it costs them, because they know the sky does not forget, and the vengeance of the sky is not always loud, but it is always true. So the next time you hear thunder in the distance, ask yourself, what truth have I buried? What oath have I broken? For justice walks on clouds, and Amadioha is listening. Rituals are not decorations, they are maps. They are bridges between the seen and the unseen, between this world and the world that watches. In the Igbo tradition, where the gods move like wind through forest leaves, Amadioha is honored not with empty words, but with acts, deliberate, reverent, and filled with silence. This is the story of how the storm is worshipped, of how the people honor the justice that lives above them, of how rain becomes prayer, and thunder the response. Among the 4 sacred days of the Igbo calendar, Eke, Orie, Afo, and Nkwo, Afo belongs to Amadioha. Afo is not just a market day, it is a day of caution, a day of alignment. On Afo, the sky is said to listen more closely. Oaths sworn carry greater weight. Offerings made reach faster. In some villages, Afo begins before dawn. Elders rise in silence, bathe in the river, walk barefoot to ancestral shrines. Before they speak, they pour libation, menia ocha, white palm wine, onto the earth, murmuring to our fathers, to our mothers, to the eye in the sky, may our words walk upright today. Children are reminded not to quarrel, lies are punished swiftly. For on Afo, Amadioha listens with both ears. Unlike deities who dwell in idols of brass or clay, Amadioha does not ask for temples. His shrines are not grand, they are simple, powerful spaces. In Ozuzu they say his shrine sits beneath an ancient Iroko tree, a low altar of earth, circled by stones. No roof, for the sky must see, no door, for truth must walk freely. In Echi, his grove is hidden, only the initiated may enter. But all know the path, it bends west, toward thunderclouds. There is no image of Amadioha, no sculpted face, only symbols. A white stone, smooth and unbroken, a staff planted upright in red soil, sometimes the skull of a ram, bleached and silent. These are not decorations. They are invitations, reminders that judgment stands even when men forget. Of all offerings made to the gods, none is more sacred to Amadioha than the white ram. Why the white ram? Because white is purity. Because rams do not weep. Because when they charge, they do not turn back. The white ram is not only an offering, it is a stand-in for the truth, strong, unyielding, without deception. To offer a white ram to Amadioha is to say, may my words be as clean as this coat. May my judgment be as sharp as these horns. May I not fear what watches above. During ritual, the ram is led in silence. No drums, only chants, low and rhythmic. Amadioha, we bring you what is true. Let your fire not find us guilty. In some ceremonies, the ram is not killed, but released allowed to walk free after the offering, symbolizing that justice has been satisfied. In others, its blood is spilled upon sacred earth. The earth drinks. The sky responds. In times of doubt, when storms gather in men's hearts, the people consult the dibia, the spiritual intermediary, the keeper of hidden wisdom. The dibia does not speak quickly. He listens to the wind. He throws okpuru, sacred shells or kola nuts, to read what the gods are whispering. When Amadioha's name appears in the divination, all grow quiet. If a man's name is wrapped in lies, the dibia may recommend an offering of a white ram, a public confession, a ritual cleansing with chalk, water, and prayer, or he may say nothing at all. Only point to the sky and say, it is no longer in my hands. For some truths, only lightning can settle. Not all offenses are punished with fire. Many are corrected with ritual. In Igbo tradition, it is better to restore than destroy, better to balance than break. When a man speaks falsely in public, he may be asked to return what he has stolen, pour libation to the aggrieved, clean the elder's compound, offer cola and wine before witnesses, apologize aloud with head bowed. If he refuses, Amadioha watches, but if he obeys and does so with a clean heart, the storm may pass him by, because justice is not vengeance, it is restoration, and Amadioha knows the difference. Rain is not just water in Igbo cosmology, it is a message. When rain falls gently on a village after a ritual, it is seen as a blessing. Amadioha's silent acceptance. When it falls violently with wind and lightning, some say it is a warning, a sign that someone has not spoken truth. Farmers say, if your yam barn leaks during a storm, check your heart. If the wind topples only your fence, ask what you have hidden. The weather is not random, it is responsive. The storm is not just above, it is around, it is within. Today, shrines to Amadioha still stand. Though many are hidden, some are maintained by families, others by entire communities. In some places, the rituals have evolved. The white ram is now represented by chalk and cloth. The shrine sits beside a church, both respected. The name Amadioha is whispered rather than chanted, but the spirit remains. In storm clouds over seas, in sudden thunder during a funeral, in the way old men pause before swearing by the sky, he is remembered, not as a god of cruelty, but of consequence. He teaches that truth is not just a virtue, it is a force, one that shapes the land, the rain, the path we walk. The sacred storm. The sacred storm is not feared, it is revered. It is the voice of order, the breath of ancestors, the hand that corrects when man forgets his place. When Amadioha speaks, he does not argue, he does not plead, he announces. The thunder rolls, the lightning strikes, the balance returns. And when it is over, the air is clean. The lies have been burned away. What remains is peace. So let the sky be your witness. Let your words be white as the ram. Let your footsteps echo like drums of truth, for the storm does not forget. And justice, when it walks among us, wears the name Amadioha. And so the storm passes. And the sky remembers. You have walked with us through the stories of the ancestors. You have heard the voice that speaks in thunder. You have sat beneath the eye that does not blink. Amadioha. He is not just a god of vengeance, he is a guardian of balance. a keeper of the breath between one word and the next. He does not come to destroy, he comes to correct. He is the reason men pause before they lie, the reason children look up when the sky goes dark, the reason an oath still carries weight, even in the age of machines. Truth, in the old ways, was not just an idea, it was a being. It had a shape, a sound, a taste in the mouth. When a man lied, it was not only the ears of others he offended, but the spirit of the air around him. Truth was sacred. It was washed in palm wine, carried in cola, planted like yam, to grow strong. And when it was betrayed, the sky would know, and the thunder would respond. Not always with fire, sometimes with silence. Sometimes silence is punishment enough. We live now in faster times. The forest has been thinned. The shrines lie quiet. The old chants are remembered only in fragments. But still, the sky remains. Still it watches. Still it waits. Every storm is a message. Every crack of lightning is a signature. Every deep roll of thunder is a name. Amadioha, the god of lightning, the hand of justice, the flame of truth. Remember this, when you speak, let your voice walk upright. When you swear, look upward. When you doubt, listen to the wind. Because the wind carries memory, and the storm carries meaning. Somewhere in a small village, a grandfather teaches his grandson, "My child, there are gods who demand offerings. There are gods who want praise. But Amadioha, he only wants your truth." And the boy asks, "And if I lie?" The old man does not answer. He simply points to the sky and smiles. So sleep now, with your spirit clean, with your words aligned, with your head resting beneath the eye of the sky. Amadioha watches. But if your path is straight, you have nothing to fear. The storm has passed, the air is clean, and tomorrow, truth will rise again with the morning sun.